So I'm Sorcha Ní Fhlainn. I'm a lecturer at Manchester Metropolitan University in film studies and American studies, and my chosen subject is Clive Barker. Clive is a very special author to me because he grew up in Liverpool, but he has become a sort of a transatlantic author. He's someone who has meddled in many, many different fields. He's a literary author, he was a critic, he's also been a playwright, a filmmaker, a scriptwriter, a producer, and an artist. He's literally a polymath within the field of the arts. So to me, he is very important because he's someone who transcends so many kind of generic divides or boundaries, but he also does that in relation to how he writes about men, about women, about sex, about gender. He's someone who also is a polymath between genres and styles as well. He's written for children, he's written dark fantasy, he's written horror, he's written poetry, he's written erotic poetry. So he's a very, very powerful figure. He's got that auteurist style that really makes him quite unique and important to me. So Clive's most famous novella and film is probably Hellraiser, which he wrote and later directed for the screen. And it's incredibly queer and powerful because it uses all sorts of sort of subgeneric imagery around, pleasure and pain, torture and mutilation, but at the same time, joy and expression in sex and flesh. It's a very powerful film for that reason and a very, very beautifully written novella. I've chosen a small piece for you from Weave World, which was the follow-up his first dark fantasy novel, which immediately followed Hellraiser, for you, just to give you a flavour of his writing. So it begins with, "Nothing ever begins. There is no first moment, no single word or place from which this or any other story springs. The threads can always be traced back to some earlier tale, to the tales that precede that, though as the narrator's voice recedes and the connections will seem to grow more tenuous, for each age will want the tale told as if it were of his own making. Thus the pagan will be sanctified, the tragic become laughable, great lovers will stoop to sentiment, and demons dwindle to clockwork toys. Nothing is fixed, in and out the shuttle goes, fact and fiction, mind and matter, woven into patterns that may only have this in common, that hidden amongst them is a filigree which will with time become a world."